And now, welcoming back, E.T. from E.T. Radio. Hey, we're back once again. Another week has gone by, and we're back broadcasting. How's everyone today? Hopefully you're doing all good. Everything's sort of been okay here. A bit of challenges. This time we don't got a storm. We actually because last time we had a storm. This time we just got rain, which is quite great because today's been real hot. We are broadcasting at Spreaker.com. And I always forget to grab the user / but definitely will next time. I can't do this again like this. But anyway, Facebook is Rob E.T. Tamatea Tūhaka. I'm also on MeWe as Rob Tamatea Tūhaka. As again, I like to acknowledge the Truth, Honour and Integrity group. Hopefully you're all doing good there. And yeah, so let's continue on with the show. So this show is about changes. And here in New Zealand, we are trying to make change. Which is the movement I have made. I'm calling it Tangatuna movement. I've described it briefly in the last show, but this is just about change in general and how we live and breaking down the Western paradigm, and also figuring out what we're going to replace it with. So yeah, that's one of the good changes that are happening right now. Been getting burning. It's funny. I will say this right now on air. I've been getting a lot of burning ears and a lot of stabbing in the ribs. As soon as I do these shows and other things similar that makes change, I wonder if that's people trying to stop me from doing what I do, Because at the end of the day, it's sort of like, why do we have to put up with this when all we want is change? I understand that some people want the status quo, but unfortunately that's not the way to go. And all I have to do is have a bit of a laugh at those people, Yeah, that's what I would think about those people, It makes me laugh that they can't follow, which is okay. See, my technology is starting to glitch. Someone's playing around with it. But that's not going to stop us, people? Yep, now I'm getting stabbing, see? I'm updating in real time what's happening with me as I do the show, because this is how we do it. It's making change. Wow. We've already started on the structure. I'm not going to say too much about it at this time because it's not sensitive information, because it's information that's going to be available to everyone soon. It's just in the process of making it needs to be under wraps, because unfortunately people will do anything to sabotage it. So just to let you know that I will be revealing the plans later on in later shows. But I will be just bringing it to your attention and making you aware there is plans put in place, and this is change for good for everyone here in New Zealand. And also we plan, once we got established here, we plan to help out other countries do the same thing here. So yeah, glad to be back with you and updating with that. As broadcasting also from the studio. Someone's talking bad about me. I can feel it in my right ear, but we're going to continue on with the show because that's how we do it. We look the enemy in the eye and said, you say we're not going to be stopped. No matter what they do. And I also like to acknowledge the Open Your Mind radio crew, Alan James and Stephen George. Also to Thomas Williams, who is the runner of the Truth, Honour and Integrity show. Best wishes to you three for your work that you've been doing for such a long time. As it says on the title, this is only my third show. because the first one was all about myself and an intro and what I get into. So yeah, good luck to the people that are making the change. Alan James and him have been running, and Stephen George have been running for 8.5 years. Truth, Honour and Integrity, Thomas Williams was once been running for about, I would say 2016. I could be wrong. And if Thomas is listening to the show or the podcast, I'm sorry, Thomas, if I got it wrong. I also like to acknowledge the bro, Shane Naruna, who has exposed a lot about the Draco and also the influence on not just this planet but other planets. And also that we are not the only planet that's under this rule, and some planets are even worse off than us, so we've got to be grateful at least that we are not the worst planet under this hierarchical rule. Well, I should say the Naga, the seven-headed reptilians, that really represents where we are today. But it's been great helping out with the exposure of certain things. We are quite instrumental in what we do. Just all the ones that are getting this broadcast, all you have to do to make change really is start off with inside you, your inner work, because what you got to realize is when you're doing your shadow work, you're actually helping the collective consciousness change as well. So, and this is what they didn't want us to know. They didn't want us to have this power so we can make change for permanent change, so we don't have to repeat history all the time. Someone's trying to attack me psychologically, but we'll ignore that. We'll send it back to sender times 10. Hopefully they learned the lesson. So, what was I up to? So yeah, it's just about making permanent change and not going back to history repeating itself, which it has for the past hundreds of thousands of years. And also the rewriting of history as well. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of a laugh to myself because people are trying to put me down at the same time as I'm doing this broadcast, but that's fine. Because at the end of the day, it just shows who your true family is, eh? And I'm just saying it how it is, because it is what it is. Because there's a difference between these two different justices, okay? There's just us, and there's just is. Remember that. I know people think, no, and I've said it in the last thing, it's ICE. But do the etymology work, you'll know what I'm talking about. Just a bit of news, local news here in New Zealand local. Our former co-leader, Marama Fox, has been has pleaded guilty to drinking and driving charges, which, put it this way, I laugh because they're trying to make this as big headlines, but hey, she is just one person out of many, and there's a lot of us that get pulled up for drinking and driving. So, what makes her more special than the rest of us, right? And I'm not saying that to put Marama Fox down, because I actually respect her, Marama Fox. And the reason why I respect her is because of her, I'd say she's like a bulldog, she never gives up. She's not a bulldog. She's actually a lovely person, but once she's got a bone in her mouth, she's stubborn to let it go. And I'm going to be also needing her for this movement as well, because she has big influence, good and bad. But she's also been in the political arena, which we see on television every day. But she is the one that is going to help us with this as well. I'd like to say a special shout out to Perak Nikora for getting me into the sovereignty business. Hello? Because she was the first. There she goes. She's on Facebook now. I just quickly check her message, but she was the one that also got me into the movement thing. Sorry about the noise, the second noise. So yeah, I'll talk to you later, Perak. But she's been pursuing sovereignty and these sort of issues for 25 years. So that's as long as I've been alive. In this current body, this is life number 8 for me. She's another one that's instrumental and is going to be help. I like to also acknowledge Gerald Tarito, who's also another uncle that's doing this as well. I like to make an awareness. He's probably not going to like me saying it, but Uncle, I'm going to say it because it needs to be talked about. Not your personal situation, but the technology behind your personal situation. He's been dealing with voice-to-skull technology, where they sit in a studio and they've got the technology to project speech or audio or video in your mind, or both. And to you, it'll be like you're thinking it, but he knows it's not himself, and it sounds crazy. But hey, we live in a paradigm that's crazy. So what do you expect? You don't expect truthful from a corrupt paradigm. That's just how it goes. And also feeling the attacks myself too, the uncle. So not alone in that one. I get the stabbing and the things, and as I described. But I like to acknowledge him as well, because he's instrumental in what he does, and he also pursues sovereignty regarding the land. Even his brother, I like to acknowledge his brother too, Uncle Rutini. He was the one that taught me that sovereignty is what you make of it. Sovereignty is no set. How can I put it? There's no set way of being sovereign. These rules you apply by. But there's no set way of living to be sovereign. Being sovereign, you can actually live several ways, as long as you're not hurting others or their property, or vandalising their property. You're sweet. But anyway, we've got 2 more minutes left, the ladies and gents. Time goes fast when you're broadcasting and start talking. I can say I got that experience by working at Turangi FM, which is a local radio station here, for the ones who didn't listen to my last show. So I've actually broadcasted on the FM band before. I used to run my own show from 5 to 6, but I did that for experience, so now I know how to run my own radio show. We didn't do talkback, it was a music, and we did do sport shows, but it taught me how to talk. But as per usual, for the last 1 minute and 15 seconds, we're going to talk about positive. So, we are instrumental in our movement. We are going to, one way or another, we are going to win. So, for all you enemies out there, be aware, because we're not giving up this easy. And to my last dying breath, I'm going to be doing what I do now. This is why I do my broadcasting. This is why I broadcast to you, give you the information and share it out and everything like that. So to all of you listeners out there, or all the ones that all listen to the podcast, hopefully you will find your path in time. Not all of us will make it on the first wave, but you have the chance in the next waves that will come. Some of us will fade out soon, and that's just how it goes, because some of us are moving to higher dimensions. And but anyway, this is me, and until next time, E.T. beaming out. Cha-cha. You've been listening to E.T. on E.T. Radio.